Diagnosing a rough idle takes 30 seconds, but writing an automotive resume takes forever? Well, good thing you found us. Hi, Kickresume here. We've helped over 8 million people get hired at Nike, Microsoft, Google, and plenty of other cool places, and today we'll show you how to build an automotive resume that'll make you the chosen one, or at least come close to it. The automotive industry is huge and covers every job from mechanics, automotive technicians, collision repair specialists, service advisors, part specialists, to service managers and fleet managers. That's why we need to focus on tailoring first. If you're a technician, you won't be writing the same resume as a car dealer, obviously. But also, no two technician jobs are exactly the same either. Every resume needs to be tailored to a specific job, and every line is either helping you make the case or it's dead weight. Start with the job ad. Read it closely and work out what this employer wants, because that's the whole thing you want to cater to. Look for keywords that show skills, tools, qualifications, experience, and expertise. Then take those keywords and match them with the skills and qualifications you actually have. The overlap is going to be the backbone of your automotive resume. That doesn't mean that the rest of your skills don't matter. You can still include them, but the things the hiring manager wants to see should be the most prominent. If you'd like to learn more about resume tailoring, check out our video guide right here. Now let's move to our core 4. The resume summary needs to be keyword heavy. You only have 2 to 4 sentences to present a concise version of your top qualifications. So a summary like this one doesn't really do you justice. Do this instead. So, obviously don't write that exactly, but what you want to do instead is include the exact job title, years of experience, your key skills and the tools you used, plus any relevant certifications and a notable achievement that really captures your professional worth. Your work experience section needs to go in reverse chronological order, from your latest job backwards. Each entry should be described by 5 to 7 bullet points, but this isn't a fixed number. It all depends on the amount of relevant info you've got to share. Focus mainly on the keywords mentioned in the job ad. Start your bullet points with action verbs and try to make them about your impact. Check this example. The action verb leads into the achievement, which is supported by quantifiable data, and also shows you the context of this achievement. Ideally, all your bullet points should follow this structure, but realistically, if 3 out of 5 do, you're okay. Remember that the keywords mentioned in the job ad should go to the front. So if the job ad talks a lot about engine diagnostics, brake repair, electrical systems, or customer service, those should show up in your first bullet points, not buried somewhere near the bottom. Compared to the previous 2, the skills section is pretty easy to get right. The thing you need to remember here is the distinction between hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are your technical abilities like engine diagnostics, brake and suspension repair, transmission work, as well as the tools you work with. For most technical roles, your hard skills are what employers want to see. Nobody's booking you to rebuild a transmission because of your attention to detail. They want to know you can rebuild the transmission. But if you're a car dealer or a fleet manager, your soft skills can also pay dividends. The skills section should be further divided into subcategories by type of skill. Organizing this section like so will make everything easier to read. And again, the skills mentioned in the job ad should be among the first listed in the skills section. The education section carries less weight than your work experience. Your employer cares way more about what you can actually do than where you learn to do it. That said, the automotive trade has a bunch of different routes in, and any of them belong here. How much space this section gets really depends on where you're at in your career. If you're new to the trade, lean into it. Make your education section more detailed, and when you don't have years of hands-on experience to show off yet, your training is the strongest card, so play it. But if you've got 2 or more years of hands-on work behind you, keep it short. At that point, your work experience is plenty enough to prove your abilities, and your education section can shrink right back down into the basics. And one thing that we see people do all the time that you don't really need to do is listing their entire school history going all the way back to primary school. You don't need that. Employers only care about what ties to your current qualifications, so there's no reason to include primary or secondary school. The one exception is if it were a vocational or trade school. The core 4 cover everything that you actually need, but depending on your situation, a few optional sections can make your resume even stronger. The rule stays the same as before. Only add what ties back to the job. Certifications are probably going to be the most relevant out of the bunch. If you have certifications and you haven't already placed them into your education section, give them their own section here. Projects are especially useful if you're new to the trade and short on work experience. Things like a full restoration, an engine swap, or a custom build all count as hands-on proof of your skills. Just like the rest of your CV, the main thing here is to focus on skills, tools, and experience mentioned in the job ad. If you've been recognized for your work or have more than 3 notable professional achievements, you can list it in a dedicated awards and achievements section. Just keep it specific with names and numbers where you can. And last, volunteering. The fact that someone wasn't paid doesn't mean that it gave you nothing. The skills you develop while giving back to your community are just as priceless as those gained by working for a salary. Just like with projects, you can expand on your volunteering entries with a few bullet points. Looking for a job and fine-tuning your applications is basically unpaid labor. We can't make job hunting disappear, but we can make it a whole lot easier. Kickresume's Resume Builder lets you create a professional resume from scratch or generate one by simply entering your job title and pasting the job ad. Since the resume is built around the role you're applying for, tailoring it becomes much less of a chore. So give it a whirl and we'll catch you next time.